Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Try
Chris's
again.
Modern Life. Chris's
Chris's
Modern
Modern
Life.
Life.
All right. Let's retake that one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Insert Disc Animation Corner. I am Socks on Sideways, the host. With me is Failed Up Smash, co-host, and what do you call yourself nowadays? Like, you have a lot of nicknames.
Yeah, do you have an
Sir?
anime exclusive name for when you talk about anime reviews?
Oh shit, I probably need one, huh?
It'd probably be easier to identify it.
The Robert Egbert of anime.
No. No. They call me the Grant Kirkhope of anime.
The what?
No, Grant Kirkhope.
No.
He worked on some the soundtracks for like the Donkey Kong games and Shovel Knight and a couple other ones. He's in a lot. He works on a lot.
Did he make the DK rap?
No, I don't think so.
Then I don't know him. Anyways, how are y'all doing today?
Well, one of my roommates played Pumpkin Hill last night, and we jammed out to that, so pretty well.
I respect it. What about you, Fail Up Smash?
I'm drinking some coffee.
What type of coffee you got with you?
It's, piece of shit. Folgers.
Caffeinated sewage.
Absolutely.
Hey, so, real quick question, right? Does anyone remember the Incest Folgers commercial?
Yes.
What?
Alright, cool. To make sure it wasn't just me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The what commercial?
The Folgers commercial, but it's like it's incestual, like very like heavily.
Hold on. Let's just pause this, pull a link up, and then we'll come back here.
All right.
I must have the wrong house.
Sister?
Oh, I missed you so much.
They waited up all night for you, you know.
It's a long way from West Africa. Oh, real coffee.
He's here.
I brought you something from far away.
Really? Oh.
What are you doing?
You're my present this year.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Chris, you're my present this year.
No. Sorry.
No.
Best part of waking up. Folgers in your cup.
Oh, God.
Shit is horrible.
Okay, yeah, we're back to recording.
All right, so we had to. Ooh, that was something else. Maybe there'll be a link to it later on. Anyways, today we're going doing what we usually do at the animation corner, reviewing stuff, obviously. So this time we're doing something different, though. We're gonna be reviewing American television.
Boo. Boo.
We're not talking about Big Mouth. Anyways,
Wow.
hey, I never seen it, but I've seen some of it. I'm not a fan. Maybe one day.
You don't like having a big mouth talking about puberty?
No, I don't. So today we're going to be talking about Rocko's Modern Life, the new, what was it? Static Culture Shock?
Static Cling.
Static Cling. That was it. And the special for Invader Zim, Enter the Florpus. Okay. God, I hate those names. This Static Cling, I don't know how I forgot, but
Yeah.
anyways,
I feel like the subtitle is actually very important and hints at what the show is really about.
yeah, true. It's just that I read it once and just kind of tossed it off to the. But I mean, hey, it's still good. So, as usual, I like to just, start off explaining what it was made from. So, Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling, which I'm just going to refer to as the Rocko Special, because it's quicker, was a continuation of the Nickelodeon series, Rocko's Modern Life, from, directed by Joe Murray. It was slated to premiere in 2018, but the distribution rights got sold to Netflix, which ended up being released in 2019, 22 years after the series finale. The plot of it was it involves Rocko being stuck in space for 20 years, coming back to Earth after what could have been the dumbest reason why he was stuck in space. Though it definitely works with the character, like it makes sense with the characters that are in the series. Rocko and his friends return to his hometown, O-Town, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know it was called that. I don't know if they just never stated it when I used to watch it, or if
no, they definitely stated it. It's just this is a 20-year-old series.
Yeah. I just never noticed, I guess. So when Rocko returns to O-Town, it's basically, I'd say, a more extreme reflection of how society is today. It's like
no, it's pretty accurate. It's pretty fucking accurate.
I definitely think they're trying to get through 20 years of advancement in a 45-minute show. So they really
definitely
go through all that in a minute with Rocko's Modern Life playing in the background.
I'm really glad they did the little updated version of the intro, though, because it felt it sounded the exact same while also being different. Like, it obviously was different enough, but it still used, it didn't change anything in order to show that the show's changed. Thing with the entire special. So anyways, in O-Town, in the new O-Town, Filbert, and Heifer, they're both very enthusiastic about the new changes to society, having immediately just merged with the crowd. But Rocko didn't. He's not a fan of it. He actually just wants everything to be the same, which is basically his entire arc about him wanting everything to stay as it is.
To be fair, I don't think it's a true statement. I don't think it's fair to characterize Rocko.
Well, no, I'm not really characterizing him. I'm just saying,
I feel like Rocko was trying to keep up with everything. The only issue was his favorite show.
It's just too much he's trying to keep up with, which, to be fair, you throw someone 20 years into the future and then you expect them to instantly catch on to everything. It's just a really difficult thing to expect from someone.
That's called being in prison.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But yes, I can understand exactly what you're doing.
So you're just looking for some haven, some reminder of where he came from.
So in order to find that haven, he's trying to keep his favorite show, The Fatheads. Unfortunately, it's off the air. So to get back on the air, he tries to find Ralph Bighead, I forgot the dad's name. I know they just call him Mr. Big
Mr.
Head.
Big Head.
Mr. Big Head, yeah.
I was trying to find out his first name, but yeah, they tried the son of Mr. Big Head. I forgot his first name. Yeah, the son being the guy who created it.
Created the show. The Fatheads.
So I don't really want to go too far into it because it being the plot, because it's kind of a lot like just a normal cartoon. In a way, there's a bunch of comedy, a bunch of callbacks to Rocko wanting his show back.
Which I like to start with that. Plot line wise, this show doesn't really make that much sense.
I mean, that's just been Rocko's modern life.
No, but like, hear me out here. Okay, so the premise of the show is, the conflict is Rocko wants to watch the Fatheads, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Fatheads, being super popular, making goo gobs of money,
Literally funding the town.
did not have reruns, did not have like an online source like a MeTV or like Netflix bringing back the equivalent of Netflix, not having Fatheads. That just seems unlikely in this universe if it's supposed to be like a mirror of our actual society.
But I mean, they are successful in bringing it back, though.
You
Well,
gotta
yeah.
suspend some disbelief. Because otherwise, it wouldn't be as... Obviously, if it was supposed to be a reflection of our society, they would definitely have it. I mean, if you want to watch the old Twilight Zone, you could just go on, like, MeTV or something.
Or YouTube.
Or the Sci-Fi Network. Or YouTube.
Which they also had. They had their own YouTube. I'm just saying, I would like to mention that. Even, I mean, I had some issues with the show. I think mostly when it comes to plot lines, and especially with Rocko, because I felt like his story arc was completely unresolved. And at this point, it should have been more. Like I know in actuality, it's Mr. Big Head who is probably the actual character or the protagonist with the complete story arc, but it like Rocko's the one causing all the action, so I feel like they should have done more for him, and I just feel like they resolved it too easily.
I actually like how Rocko's thing wasn't, resolved fully, because that means that he's going to have to accept that change will come. And, like, sure, he will lose a part of, I don't know, he will lose the thing that makes him feel safe, a reminder of where he's came from, but it could lead to new things, because the Fatheads were gone. Ralph, formerly Ralph, now Rachel, because that was a plot line that was brought up about change.
Yeah, that's the actual plot line that actually has some resolution. But it's just like, Rocko, you gotta, he freaks out. That's not the cartoon I wanted. And he go, just accept it. And he went, all right. And then that was the end of it. I was like, what? He literally traveled across the world. He's like he's fine with someone changing their sex. Like this. It's very clearly the show's super important to him, enough to motivate him to do all the things he's done. And then he just go, just accept it. It's over. And then he's like, all right. And then he just moves on. And that's the thing that kind of bugs me, is it just resolves way too quickly. Whereas like Big Head, it's not only he lost his job, losing his house, hated by everyone, finds out his son is now his daughter. There's a lot of things just hitting him at one point, and then he gradually kind of comes into it once he sees that, no matter what, it's still his child that he loves, and he still has the memories, and that's really all that matters. that he gets to spend time with his family, and that's the true thing he learns. But like Rocko didn't learn anything from anything from what happened. He just went, all right, now it's a show.
Yeah, okay, I kind of see what you're saying. They could have done more with Rocko.
They definitely should have done more with Rocko, but I think leaving it, I wouldn't say open-ended, but just leaving it as it was, just kind of makes it so Rocko just decides he needs to
just get over it.
He needs to just get over it.
Well, yeah, I understand that Rocko is a proxy for actual people, for us, anyone who might want an old show back or get upset with like Teen Titans or whatnot. But
I knew you were gonna fucking say it.
That's really it. That is what Rocko is. But it just, I feel like this didn't give enough time for that to fully develop that. They just went, get over it. Even at the beginning of that cartoon when they did the remake, they said, hold on, here it is. Wrong page. No, I don't have it. But when beginning of the Big Hat start the remake, and he goes, "Hey viewers, suffering from nostalgia." Like there's like multiple times when the show's just poking fun at people who want their old shows back. And then if you're gonna spend all your time doing that, can we get a fully developed plot line based around that then, instead of just like a quick sudden stop to the conflict, internal conflict, admittedly?
That's what you're saying. If we're gonna do it, like, go all in on it
instead of just making fun of people.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty fair.
I mean, like, I liked Rocko's, but I didn't like Rocko's enough to be like, oh man, this is like super huge for me or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, now the next show is one I'm kind of passionate about.
So before we start, I do want to say I like it as a nostalgic callback to. It's just like a nostalgic look back to Rocko's modern life and how it was. Same's gonna be the case for the next thing we talk about, but I think it handled like change pretty well. Oh, just a moment, please pause. I believe it handled, excluding Rocko's his like whole issue, it handled most of the stuff really well. Like the whole issue with Ralph and Rachel, the concept of change, just like how people deal with change. I think it handled it really well.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it worked both as like satire, but it also wasn't a satire in a way you're like, you see this? This is bad, am I right?
I definitely disagree on that. Which I haven't. So I did watch Rocko's Modern Life when I grew up. I just don't remember anything about it because I was too young to fully appreciate it. So I'm now watching this as a grown up and a lot more aware of the stuff that they're talking about. But like, you remember right after the cartoon happens and the business gets launched out into space, and they talk about capitalist redundancy. They're just saying stuff like that. It's just like, I think it's really in your face about the things.
Well, there were some things that, the stuff like that, I definitely think those are obvious. But I meant like just like change and like the overarching stuff.
Oh,
like,
well, if you're talking about the concept,
like not
of
the
change.
stuff they immediately called out, but like mainly just like change, how they were dealing with change, and like the whole issue with like Ralph and Rachel, stuff like that was in the special, I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, okay, yeah, everything involving Mr. Big Head, yes, I will agree.
Like that was handled extremely well, and I like it.
Everything else is just really, they really ham-fisted, like how when Mr. Big Head messed up the information about the money and how everything literally goes to hell. That's just the 2008 housing bubble because of some money messing up the numbers. I just feel like, or how the internet is kind of suspicious, and you have Rocko's running away from the internet, he's getting slammed by like buttons, and how everyone looks angry at him and is talking about how public reception just actually physically punch. I just feel like a lot of what they do to emphasize the events, what happened between 96 and, according to this show, 2016, which is really ham-fisted in a way that didn't need to be. But I guess that's probably what Rocko's Modern Life was actually like. The original series, I wouldn't know. Based on what I've seen from other opinions, that seems to be the case.
I feel like I definitely have to rewatch Rocko's Modern Life just because, like you said, I just don't feel like I appreciated it enough as a child to understand some of the things they talked about. I feel like if I do, I definitely would like it. Like, I not like it, but I would understand some of the issues they, any issues that were present based on the previous show and the special.
Also, one thing I will give Rocko's Modern Life, especially as a show, credit for, when I mean as a show, I mean this 2019 episode, is that it reminds me how different cartoons were 20 years ago.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. Like watch one episode of Rugrats and then watch like, hey, I can't even think of like an equivalent for Rugrats for this.
It's just very different tonally, how they approach jokes, art style, obviously. I don't know if it's an improvement or.
I think that's just solely based on the person's cognition. Like, at least in that case, like it can't be like it's this is just bad. It's like some of it's good, some of it's bad. It's just solely based on what you think is good and what you think is bad. Like. There are some, I'm not saying that there are cases where something's obviously, nothing's good or bad. Because obviously there's some things that are bad, some shows that are bad. I give some examples, but I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Man, just go ahead, ruffle some feathers. That's what we're here for.
I was going to say Teen Titans Go, but even then, in some cases, there's some good episodes. I haven't seen them, but I've seen reviews about them. Multiple reviews where they're actually thought of, considered really good. I wouldn't watch it, but that's just me. Because that means, well, no, Teen Titans Go isn't really episodic, so I could probably just watch that episode and just be done with it.
Yeah,
Even then, I'm not a fan, so I just don't feel like watching it. But all I will say is, when I recommend someone to watch it, only if they watched not really only if they watched the, original series, but I feel like they would definitely appreciate it if they have watched the original series.
I recommend it. Even, despite all my criticisms, I would just straight up recommend it.
Yeah.
Yes, I did enjoy watching the first time, but purely, even if you've never seen the show, just to appreciate not only the change in animations and how we go about making cartoons, there's a change in lifestyle. It's definitely it's like a time capsule.
Totally. As you said, change in lifestyle, that made me think 20 years ago, but when I was watching Rocko's Modern Life, I was barely even doing anything. I would try to skip school, and when I skipped school, I would actually just have nothing else to watch, so I would watch Rocko's Modern Life. And I'm thinking, now here I am. I'm 21 years old and just working with nothing else, really going for it when it comes outside of working. like, man, life has changed since the first and last interaction with the series that I've had.
Chris's Modern Life.
This is modern life.
However, unlike Rocko, I had to embrace change without getting, overly upset at it. Sometimes it's good, you know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Yeah, unless you're talking about like Teen Titans Go.
Oh yeah, that's the one part of change I'm not gonna accept.
Live action versions of all your favorite shows.
Oh man, you know, live action Boondocks?
God, no.
Okay, all right. I feel like that could work if we get the original creator on board.
No, it won't happen.
If he wanted to make a live action version, I think he could.
Jaden Smith is Riley. No, sorry, Huey.
Jaden Smith, yeah.
He'd definitely be Huey. Yeah. All right. Next show.
So the next one we're gonna watch is a bit stranger than Rocko's Modern Life, which is pretty strange in its own right.
A bit.
Just a little bit. It's Invader Zim Enter the Florpus.
Florpus.
God, I hate saying that name. It's like, why? Why couldn't it matches how Invader Zim works. But man, please.
It's a mouthful.
I mean,
yes.
To your credit, even Zim had issues saying Florpus. He called it a Florpus hole.
I remember that now. So, let's see. Let me get started. Once again, Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, also known in other areas as Div Membrane versus Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, which I actually like that name better.
I like that name a little better, yeah.
It's 2019 animated science fiction comedy written by Yonan Vasquez. I don't know. It's based on and is a continuation of the original Invader Zim, which aired on Nickelodeon and Nicktoons, where it went to die, in between 2001 and 2002.
And also had a comic series.
It also does have a comic series. Let's see. What is that sound? You hear that, right, Phoenix?
Yes, I do.
Is that?
Maybe?
Maybe it's a Florpus hole opening in his room.
Alright, cool. Have fun.
Reality is changing.
Plotted around this one involves Zim and Ger. Zim being the titular character. They once again are planning how to, take over the world for the Urkin army, which I gotta say, they look like they could be really threatening if they weren't so stupid.
Well, Zim had to come from some group of people, so it makes sense his leaders are just as stupid.
Well, yeah,
if not stupider, or more stupid actually.
I would say they are. I'd say they're equally as stupid, because both of them ignored, they gave the Florpus hole the exact amount of importance in their grand scheme. One of them literally flew through it just because.
I do want to get into that, but I would say Zim is not as stupid as the tallest. But I will come back to that later.
So, after most of the absence, also being, both absence and being monitored by Div, who really let himself go, Zim and Ger finally resurface, and Zim reveals that he disappeared in order to make Div unfit to oppose him, which would cause him to launch Phase 2. Phase 2 being he would contact Talus Well, during the point of Phase 2, he contacted Tallest, but completely forgot what Phase 2 was.
That is the most like Simpsons.
That is the
shit
Zim. That's something Zim would do. So while figuring out Phase 2, Dib gets back into shape, and they bring up a very important. He does get to his shape, but they bring up a very important part that is basically is a driving force, not the driving force of the story, but without it the story would not go on, which being a Peace Day mem bracelet, which is it's like a super high tech bracelet.
It's an iPhone. It's an iWatch. Just think of
just
as
an
that.
iWatch. There you go. Which is developed by Dib's father, Professor Membrane, who I have some things to say about later. But what else happened? After contacting the Hurricane Armada, the tallest, Zim basically discovers, well, not even discovers, because he still doesn't realize they don't care about it, but he finds out that he thinks that he failed the tallest.
I mean, it's kind of why he sent him there in the first place.
Yeah. So, because of that, he ends up being depressed, and even Dib tries to help him, which, well, no, he help him, but Dib
Basically, like, get him to, like, use the fact that he's, like, not doing anything and basically, like, in a slump to expose him to the world.
Which ends up giving Zim the ability to activate the Florpus hole, or activate a teleportation gizmo or whatever that moves him right into the path of the tallest.
Which by the way, has the most fire song in the history of mankind.
Shut the hell up.
Look it up on SoundCloud. Look it up on YouTube.
All right.
Peace is Nice by Gur is a banger.
All right.
For the ages. That shit is
Okay. I can't wait for the Kids Bop version.
Songs. All right.
I can't wait for the Kids Bop version.
Dog, he said peace is nice, dog.
I felt that.
And then when he said it's better than chicken rice, mind blown.
Bars. I felt that.
Hottest rapper of 2019.
Do you have that that soundboard?
No, not
You know nothing about that.
You don't know nothing about that. That's a major key.
So, once the Florpus hole opens, which basically threatens to destroy both the planet, and I'm pretty sure if it was left unchecked, basically the universe, because there's emerging alternate realities. And I mean, from Secret Wars 2015 Marvel Secret Wars, we kind of know how merging realities would work. It would basically be like dividing by zero.
Well, it is a black hole, but in theory, you shouldn't have any fear of it if you're far enough away.
But it was also expanding, though, wasn't it? Like,
No.
I feel like at some point, oh, it wasn't?
No, just they got closer to it.
Yeah, that was the issue. They were on the collision course with it.
They were at the point of horizon.
Ah, yes. Just like that. Anyways. So, the entire series, despite being named Invader Zim, it focused, well, not series, special, it focused a lot on Dib and Gaz, his sister, and Membrane, which I'm gonna bring up later as they try to save the Earth from both Zim and the Florpus hole. That's all I need to say about the plot. Let's go on to how y'all felt about it. I'm gonna go off right now about Membrane. I really didn't like. I understand why they did it, but I didn't like how they just kept with him, just acting like everything was a dream, just because he didn't see it as a possibility, being a man of science.
Well, that's the thing. He's definitely an example of rampant fanaticism when it comes to science. When the only thing you can tolerate is that, or if when you uphold let me take a step back. I think that's actually, in fact, the major theme of Into the Florpus obsession and fanaticism.
Mm-hmm.
With all three characters being Zim,
obsessed with something.
Zim, Deb, and Membrane.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. It seemed, at least when it came to the case of aliens, he just decided to stay ignorant, despite the fact that there were many times where something should have keyed him into knowing.
But Chris, there's no logical way that aliens could possibly exist.
He says, "Is he
a human on a planet?" No way could aliens
jail
exist.
At one point, he's in alien jail, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, aliens aren't real. This is all a dream."
It's like, dude, you wouldn't dream for that long. You wouldn't have been tossed out in space, which it's crazy. He survived being tossed out in space and still, still be dreaming. Come on, G.
I mean, hey man, my dreams are kind of long sometimes.
Yeah, same.
I guess.
I'll live an entire day in a dream and then come back in my bed and I have to wake up and be like, "That actually happened or not?"
Exactly. There's just some points where I'm questioning, am I even awake?
I envy all that. I get like 20-minute dreams. At least that's how it feels. Then I wake up and it was actually like not 2 hours, like 7 hours.
Well, you only really experience a dream within like the last 30 minutes of sleeping.
That's ass.
Dang. I'm gonna need to access my brain and find the secrets to my other dreams.
For real.
I want to say Invader Zim is such a weird ass show. It is so weird and bipolar. It's so like the definition of an eclectic show without being an eclectic show.
I fucking love that.
When I was watching it, I was thinking, I remember watching this when I was younger and how much I did not like Invader Zim. I just felt it was so creepy. Because, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, we can, for example...
The episode where he was taking out them organs?
The what?
The episode where Zim was taking people's organs?
I don't remember any episode. I was talking about the movie. I mean, I was going to use the movie example. Like, you remember when he's talking about how he used to think sharks were his friends?
Oh, yeah.
That's such a major tone shift. And the show
Then they go right back. That's Invader Zim. They always, not always, but they commonly did that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I forgot how weird the show was. It's iconic.
Shit was nutty.
But as a child, it freaked me out.
Invader Zim being normal, not scientifically possible.
There's no one alive that's more excited for this than me. I am not possible. Oh my god, I love the memes of that.
Or you remember when he's talking about the vampire bees? And he goes, I was addicted to honey. And then after that scene happens, the bee comes in, it zooms in on the bee, and it roars. It's just like, what?
You know what? I think that's where a lot of my comedy comes from.
It's like, who sat down and went, let's do that. It's just like,
that's why it's so good. Because it doesn't have to rely on like cheap all right, I wouldn't say cheap shots at other shows. Like, example, how most of Family Guy's comedy is cheap shots at things. Like, this is bad, right? It just decides to be random without being robot chicken random.
Well, I was thinking sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, go ahead. You got it.
I was thinking like it's how SpongeBob is really weird. Like SpongeBob maintains a tone. This is like ramping up. It's like it makes sense that Invader Zim and SpongeBob were like really popular shows around the same time because they both just like go hand in hand in that absurdity. Kind of like they were competing with each other with how weird it can get, and they did it in different ways. And I feel like Zim is like definitely like the dark side of being weird.
I was gonna say like Invader Zim is like pure chaotic energy given form.
Yes.
This shit is pure chaos, and I live for it. Like, I love this movie. Every callback, every like when they brought out the ship, tax ship. I was like, yo, shit, I forgot he still had tax ship. Or like anytime Gaz is like shredding on her guitar or some shit, like I ate that up. This was like so nostalgic for me. I loved Invader Zim. I loved this shit growing up. I love that, like, and like you said, obsession is like the big thing, because we don't even see Dib at first. We just hear like, oh man, he's been in his room for like months, just sitting there, smelling. And then you see
12 years old.
him. 12 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah, that part.
That shit was so good. It was so
And
anime.
it just been the last anime hero.
Oh my god, the intro is fire too.
You
That
turned
was
this man
so
Dib
good.
into a Joestar.
And then you actually see Dib, and he's like this fat sack of crap who's like fused with his chair.
Oh my god.
Oh god, and the montage killed me. He's working out and he gets too buff and he gets to slim back down.
And then he calls it out. He's just like, I got a little bit too fit till I got myself back to normal.
God, it was so good. And then you go see Zim, and you're expecting like, oh yeah, now Zim's gonna like show him this new plan. It's like, nope, now Zim's a fat sack of crap.
It was great.
God. It was so good. It was pure chaos and I loved it. I'm so, oh my god, I missed it. I missed Zim. I love this show. This movie was like made me want to go out and like find the comics. It was that enjoyable for me.
I even liked the tallest just because I don't know if it would, directly correlate, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. They're completely built upon staying as lazy and as unmotivated as possible, that they would rather fly directly into the Florpus hole than go around it.
Their entire like conquest path has literally just been going straight.
They've just been going to a straight line.
What the fuck? Just going in a straight line, and we're gonna just take over shit as we go. Like, what the fuck?
Anything that is in your way, y'all are cool. But if you're in front of us,
Too bad.
you're ours now. And I love that. But Phoenix, you said you had something to say about the whole Florpus whole them flying into a thing.
Post-edit Phoenix here. I didn't say my point because I forgot it during the recording, so here I am. The point I was trying to make is that Zim's actions are different than the tallest is because he's trying to meet his self-actualization, that being he is in fact the best invader of his kingdom and that everyone really needs him. It's very similar to Deb in how he wants to prove to his father that, well, not prove to his father, he wants father's respect and therefore is willing to constantly say aliens exist, here's the evidence, father, why won't you recognize that? And even willing to compromise the safety of the entire planet in order to prove a point. It's the thing that links both of them, and therefore I have issue making a comparison between Zim and the tallest, because the tallest are not making the same action from the same kind of perspective.
No. It'd be like, oh hey, this shit's actually here and actually real.
I just wanted to see him relate to his son, though, for sure. That's all I wanted to. I wanted to see him. I wanted people to see that Dib was right, because Dib is my boy.
And he was.
And
was
then
right.
Membrane says, says it. Like, you don't have to prove to me that, like, you have to prove to me that for my love. I love you already, son.
Exactly.
Well, I felt that because I can't feel that.
Same.
Like he said that, I was like, oh damn, my heart actually felt so. But actually, the fight scene with Membrane and Dib,
So good.
it straight up slapped. And then they called back to asking for him to have his back. He's like, don't worry, son, I got your back. I just looked at him like, oh damn. Mr. Robot Man with the robot arm, he coming in.
With the Kamehameha blast.
Dude's got
That
an
extreme.
energy blast in his arms. Why? What purpose did he have except for that one move? Did he actually, whenever he fired someone, did he fire at them?
Yeah.
So you're fired. Oh, that's another tactic.
Well, when you're trying to get world peace.
You gotta weed out the bad guys, the guys that'll say no.
I love Invader Zim. I love this
I
chaos.
said I
I'm
lost my
surprised we didn't talk. Kinda surprised
Oh
we
my
didn't
god.
talk about Flame Brain.
I know this is like completely irrelevant, but do you know how like hyped I was when he brought out the moose?
Mini Moose.
The mini moose!
I love the one part when they were actually like in between realities and they were just showing different art styles.
Yeah,
I
love
was
when
to
they
me.
do that shit.
That is a very impressive part, and I think that very much emphasized James' point that it's just uncontained chaos
I was really
into a
hoping
show.
that they would do like one thing that's based off of another series. I know they did one that was based off one of his older comics when it came to the art styles. And this is gonna sound weird, but I wanted them to just like do a little quick Gravity Falls design of them, you know?
Is that also a series?
No. Just like as a little call, because I like Gravity Falls, and I don't know why I expected, because Gravity Falls is weird and paranormal. So is this. I expected one little callback to it, because I mean, Gravity Falls called back to, what was that show? Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty called back to Gravity Falls.
Yeah, then they did the same thing.
It'd be interesting. It's more so because like this is like that's paranormal and this is like extraterrestrial.
This is
But
sci-fi.
I could see it working out.
True.
The only reason I feel like it worked
one
for me,
instance where they use magic in Invader Zim. I don't remember, but I feel like there was the case. I think. I want to look it up right now, but I think so.
for the life of me, I cannot remember. It's been 10 years.
I feel like I remember someone using magic.
Oh
Oh,
man, and then Gaz is still one of my favorite characters. I love her. She is so sassy and so mean. I fucking love Gaz.
but even then, I like Gaz too, just because she's mean, but she knows when to stop.
Yeah.
Just like when Did was at his lowest, she actually acted like, you know, a
Sister.
She's like, I'm not gonna do this when you're already as low as you can.
Oh yeah.
Also,
and
apparently
to be fair,
magic does exist from this, but
Yeah, I mean the show does mention ghosts, so that automatically makes it magic.
it's a group called. This is in the comics though, so I don't know if it's in the same continuity as the TV show. But
Probably.
it's a group called Poop Watch, and they drink poop cola and are able to derive their magic from poop cola.
Okay, that makes sense. There's a reference to the poop cola in the show, not show,
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie. The movie, you can see some of the cans will actually just says poop.
Mm-hmm.
That's so like even that's so lowbrow humor, but like for some reason it just works in this world. Like,
That's
okay
just
with
how
that.
the world would do it. Like that's just how the world is. Where
Dude,
they
any
could
other
drink
show, I'd
something
be like-
called poop, and they would do it.
Well, yeah, and you know, I mean, just like Rocko's Modern Life is very in your face about culture. When they make a joke like that, like how the Peace Watch, he has his own like Apple presentation,
Mhm.
and then when everyone was almost on to Zim being an alien, he goes, "It's in 4 colors," and everyone just lose their mind and just totally forget about the evil thing he just said.
Hey man, because consumerism.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Just the people in that series are really dumb. It's been called
Yeah,
out
no,
in
no,
the
yeah,
series
Yeah,
itself.
it is, but like it's very clear what they're doing in that scene.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's all
Oh,
I'm pretty
man.
much saying, especially with the poop soda. It's
So
kinda
I
just
forgot. So
remind
like,
of that.
there's this one moment because they're trying to like unite. They're getting kids to wear the watch and then stand around the world in like a chain of peace. And then there's this one point where they're going across a fucking volcano, and this little girl is like running across the volcano to reach the other kids. It's so out there, but it's so like, you know what? Yeah, I can see this happening.
Design.
I mean,
It's
one-
Invader Zim. That'll work.
the one that got me on that one was the cat, and then you see the police arrest the cat, and you
Yeah,
see the
what
cat
the
just in
fuck?
handcuffs being put in the backseat. Like what?
Just fucking arresting the cat. Oh god, I fucking love Invader Zim.
It's so stupid and chaotic, but it's so
It
good.
loops right back around to being genius again. I'm definitely have to start like reading the comics now.
So, one thing I really like, was another callback to just something random that they started doing in the series, which was like making fun of Dib's head. So it's like,
Yeah, when he's on TV.
it's just even bigger than usual. It's a straight up ball. It's a what series was that?
Jimmy Neutron?
No. It may have been just some random thing in Rick and Morty, but just like a giant circle, but only near the bottom of it is the actual face, and it's like a really small face.
Cole Lyoko.
I guess we'll just go with Cole Lyoko.
Hey.
Hey, you want? Hey, what? Don't tell me those characters didn't have.
Tell me their
big
heads
ass
weren't
foreheads.
giant.
They were not that big.
Well, they were headbutt champions. What are you talking
They were
about?
They could have played ping pong with their foreheads.
They were not that big. Come on.
Come on now. Are you really saying that?
You could fit the entire lyrics on one of their foreheads. What are you talking
To
about?
be fair, they had to shrink down the lyrics, had to edit that picture. It wasn't completely straight.
Like a real head. A real head isn't completely straight.
Hey man, I don't give a no about this. Cole Lyoko was fucking fire.
I mean, it's fire, but dude's head was big. Like, their heads were giant.
She was not that big.
You'll see a difference.
listen. Those are two completely different animation styles. You know, one's supposed to be. One,
Rita, I'm just gonna say watch it.
okay, Phoenix.
Yeah, once again, I enjoyed it. I will definitely say I would give someone a warning though, that this is gonna be very weird. It's gonna be very tonally shifting all the time. It might not be for you if you're not for that.
I give it. Oh, sorry. I know you're done. My bad.
No,
Phoenix.
I was done. I was completely done, man.
I give it 4 schmoopsies out of 5 schmeckles. It was a great ride.
So, you know, both these shows are reboots to a certain extent of older shows that are at least 16 years old. One of being over 20, and the other one being 16. So, how do you guys feel about cartoons, especially since both of these were Nickelodeon, trying to reboot and bring back older series? Especially since both of them have kind of like a sting when it comes to people obsessing over older stuff.
If it's in the right hands, with the example being this Invader Zim one, with the right people, you know, the actual creators behind it, it can be extremely good. Like, it has the freedom that it needs in order to be what the, you know, creator wants it to be, and you can immediately see that, and it stays the same despite how you see it. Rocko's My Life is a bit different, but it still manages to be just as good. I wouldn't say just as good, because the Invader Zim one was definitely better. It was amazing.
See, I actually disagree. I think both of them are just as good.
They do different things, and I like both of them. I just like Zim a bit more because I liked it more than Rocko growing up. My thing is,
That's my thing.
And I kind of
I'm biased.
I mean, I think any difference is, are you trying to be conscious about messages? Then you probably like Rocko more. If you just want a straight cartoon, Zim is probably gonna be more up your alley.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, like in general, because Teen Titans Go is a reboot, and it's made by the same creators.
It is not.
Is it?
Nah. There's no way.
Wait, yes, dude. Teen Titans Go is made by
They did Teen Titans.
I don't think so. I think they have different directors.
I could have sworn it was different staff and everything.
Ah.
My thing is, as long as you are faithful to the original and your intent is clear, it's the same thing with the live action Disney movies, right? They're soulless cash grabs, and they feel like soulless cash grabs that don't need to exist.
Yeah, but it's still a cash grab. It's still a cash grab. Both of these shows
But
are
it's not,
cash
but it's
grabs.
not. And again, at the end of the day, yeah, the point is to make money, but these aren't soulless. You can feel there's heart in Rocko. You can feel there's heart in Zim. If you're gonna do something like this, put some fucking heart in it.
Yeah, but
That's all I'm
it's
asking
still
for.
kind of exploiting that nostalgia factor. And that's actually what I'm trying to ask about here. Because both of these series ended. They didn't need to continue it.
Yeah. And continuation isn't needed for this. But again, if you're gonna do it and do it right, then I'm okay with it. It's a lot of like intent and context like goes into it. It's a case by case scenario.
Yeah, so Chris just said Teen Titans Go were made by different people.
Oh, and he posted
Um,
who made it? Who made what?
what?
Did he post who made what?
He posted in the chat who developed Teen Titans and who developed Teen Titans Go. Anyway, what's the next show we should expect? Or what would probably be a good series to bring back?
All grown up.
And only one.
Rugrats.
I had a feeling one of you were going to say Rugrats.
I said all grown up as a joke.
Yeah, I know it was a joke. But I'm
all
talking
the
about Rugrats.
so now I'm thinking, wow, that we basically both said Rugrats. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, Rugrats for sure.
I don't know. Like, I'm cool with like a lot of things just like ending and staying dead.
Exactly. That's very much how I feel currently. I was gonna say Rocket Power, but then I thought, nah, that show won't work. It just won't.
Nah, that one is just the one that can't
Oh!
work first time.
Well, maybe. I'd say maybe like Martin Mystery.
Kappa Mikey. Anime is strong now. Kappa Mikey.
Kappa Mikey,
Alright.
yeah. Kappa Mikey would be interesting.
Well, give me Kappa Mikey again. That show was good. So,
Yeah.
anyone else have anything else to say?
What's the idea for next animation corner?
Next animation corner, we're going back to our roots. And by that, I mean we're going back to anime because cartoons are really difficult sometimes.
I mean,
Oh,
it's more like we just don't have a lot of cartoons to watch.
Red Line is free on YouTube with ads. I recommend Red Line to anybody.
Yes.
Or
So-
Cannon Buster.
Or Cannon Busters, yeah.
It's
so
actually
you should watch
one
that.
of the ones I was going to talk about. I have 3 of them so far.
Okay, what you got?
Cannon Buster, Assassin's Pride, and I'm not saying that full name, so I'm just gonna say Ore Suki, which I know I'm gonna hate because I hate it. I hate the manga, but I'm doing this for everyone else. Anyway,
Yeah, I definitely got Cannon Busters.
I've been meaning to watch it anyways. Thanks for listening to the Animation Corner, and I hope you have a pretty nice day and, watch yourself some Invader Zim.
Yeah,
Alright.
have an animated time in your corner.